Welcome back. In the previous class, we have seen about what are the basic operations that you can do in an array. Today, we're going one step further and we're going to learn multi-dimensional arrays. Till now, whatever arrays you're learning, those are all one-dimensional arrays. Today, we're going to do two-dimensional arrays and three-dimensional arrays. Now, what are these things? So generally, you can think like this, that when we call about a 2D array, you can think like this, that it is a table form. It's just a table. Table means what? It will have a row, it will have a column. That is the only difference. When we have a 1D array, it was just like one straight line where it has some different random elements. But over here, if we see, when it is a table format, it will be something like this. So we can have a table format like this, and it can have some elements into it. So it can be any random elements, but it will be of a table format. Now, when we have to initialize a 2D array, we simply write in A, let's say the name of the array, 2 and 3, for example. This is a declaration. I can give a semicolon here and it will be declared. But since we're initializing, we're just going to give the equal to sign over here. And let's write 2, 4, 1, 0, 7, 6, and give a semicolon. Now, this method generally is not preferred because we have a better way of initialization. If I have to write the same array in a better format, I'm just going to write 2, 3. Here I'm going to give two brackets like this. I'm going to write 2, 4, 1. 0, 7, 6. So now as you can see here, we have written 2 and 3. So that means this array has 2 rows and 3 columns. So as you can see, this is 1 row, this is 2 row, and 1, 2, 3 columns. So 2 rows and 3 columns. That is how we see. If you want to see this in a block diagram, so we're going to make like this. Here I'm going to write 2, 4, 1, and then 0, 7, 6. So this is, you can see row 1, this is row 2, this is C1, C2, C3. 2 rows, 3 columns. This is what we call as a two-dimensional array. Now when we talk about a three-dimensional array, firstly we write int, I write A. Let's write 2, 3, 4. The way to initialize a three-dimensional array is, we're just going to give a bracket like this. Since the array is going to be a very bigger one, so we're going to write the first curly bracket here, and then we're going to give one more curly bracket. I'm going to write some elements. Let's write 3, 4, 2, 3, for example. And let's write 0, minus 3, 9, 11, and we're going to have again 23, 12, 23, suppose 2. So this is one single row, as you can see. This way, when we have mentioned it, we're going to give the curly bracket again, and we can mention again the other values for it. This way, I'm just going to do it until it is over. But the main question is that, how do we use these two arrays? Generally, you're going to have two-dimensional array more than compared to three-dimensional arrays. So for that, let me show you a program for both of them. That is a two-dimensional array, a three-dimensional array, how to take inputs and how to display all the elements. So let's see those in a program. So as you can see here, I have a program where I have tried to display a two-dimensional array. What I did, as you can see, I have declared an array over here, which is a two-dimensional, 2 rows, 3 columns. I have entered any 6 numbers. Why? How do you know how many numbers it will be? Because you just have to multiply this with this. I have told you this in one previous lesson. Then I have taken the input. Here I'm using 2 loops. First loop is for the row. Second loop is for the column. That you have to remember. Then I'm taking the input just like how we normally do. Now here if you see, since I'm using 2 loops here, so 2 iterators are there. One iterator will be for the row. One iterator will be for the column. So as you can see here, when I'm printing the array, the first iterator is I, second iterator is J. This way I can understand that this will be row and this will be column. Now let's try to run this and see what happens. So if I run the code, it's going to ask me any 6 numbers. So let's type any random 6 numbers, 5, 6, 1, 2, 9, and 0. So as you can see, it is printing me all the random 6 numbers which I have given. And moreover, it is even giving me the indexes. So 0, 0, that is the very first index for both the rows and columns. The first row is 0, second column is 0. First row is 0, column is 1, first row is 0, column is 2. So this is for the first row, and then these are for the different columns. So it has 2 rows, that is 0, 0, and 1, 1, and 3 columns, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. That way it is storing all the values. So it's just like a tabular. But when we compare this with a three-dimensional array, let's see that as well. So here I have a three-dimensional array. As you can see, it has 2, 3, 2. Here, if you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You multiply these two, you will get 6, and it has certain elements. Now here, as you may have figured out, that we have to use 3 loops because it's a three-dimensional array and we are printing it. So as you can see, it will be coming like test, which is the name of the array, I, J, K. So the basic format is same only. There's not much of a difference between 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional. Just one extra loop will come over here. So since I'm not taking here input, I'm just displaying the array directly. So if I run the code, it should display me the array. As you can see, all the elements present in this array has been displayed. So it's from 1 to 12. And this format is also the same one, only just here one extra loop is getting added. So that is the thing you have to understand about two-dimensional array and three-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array you will use a lot when you compare with a three-dimensional array. So two-dimensional array is the most important one. So if you have any doubt regarding any of these two programs, or if you have any doubt regarding two-dimensional or three-dimensional array in the understanding the concept, you can comment down in the comment section.